Hello, my name is Allie Sarno and I'm a third grade teacher at Bates Elementary School. This year, Salem Public Schools is making the transition to a standards-based report card at the K-8 level. During this presentation, I'm going to review some of the key features in the standards-based report card and also describe how parents and students can use the report card as a tool for understanding student learning and progress. Report cards are a very important communication tool. This is one of the many forms of communication that teachers use to inform parents and families about subject area learning expectations and about how students are progressing toward meeting academic goals. A standards-based report card differs from report card formats that Salem has used in the past. For example, instead of providing 1 grade per subject, like getting an A in math, the standards-based report card provides a score for each skill within a course. This helps teachers share with parents what specific skills and knowledge a student has mastered and what they still need to work on. A standards-based report card also communicates if a student is on target to master skills by the end of the year or if they need more support to be on track to do that. Because standards are a centerpiece to the standards-based report card, it makes sense for us to spend some time talking about what standards are. Standards are defined by the state of Massachusetts and are articulated in the Massachusetts state curriculum frameworks. Included in this slide is an example of a 4th grade math standard. Standards define the discrete skills and content students are expected to learn by content areas such as math, literacy, science, art, and physical education. In creating Salem's standards-based report card, the district work team has taken great care to convert state standards into student and parent-friendly language. Here's an example of actual report card language for a 5th grade learning standard. For this standard, 5th grade students are expected to use information from several sources to either write or speak knowledgeably about a topic. For each skill, students will receive a score between 0 and 3 that assesses their learning for individual standards. A score of 3 means the student is meeting end-of-year expectations for the standard. A score of 2 means that the student is progressing toward mastering the end-of-year expectations for the standard, but has not yet mastered the full standard. A score of 2 on the report card does not always mean that the student is performing below what is expected. Sometimes a 2 will be the highest score that is possible because the standard in question is one that will continue to be part of teaching and learning in upcoming weeks of instruction. A score of 1 means that a student needs significant assistance from the teacher to demonstrate their understanding of content or skills, and a 0 means that a student is not yet able to show what they know and are struggling to master the identified skill. An NA, or not applicable, means that the listed standard has not yet been taught. It is on the report card because it is a standard that will be addressed later in the year. You may also notice that this grading key does not address important habits such as homework completion and class participation. These habits are assessed separately. We will get into more detail about this part of the report card later in this presentation. In addition to letting parents know how students are performing by standard, this new standards-based report card also shows if a student is considered to be on track for where they should be at that part of the year or not. So for example, a student may receive a score of 2 for a standard but also be considered on track for what the teacher expects students to know for that standard at this time of year. This indicates that the student has not yet mastered all of the skills in the standard, but that he or she is on track to master them by the end of the year. A standards-based report card shows student growth throughout the year. Once parents receive the second report card, they will be able to see growth. In this example, the student has increased their scores from a 2 to a 3. This means that their knowledge and skills have grown in this standard. The habits of homework completion and class participation are extremely important to a student's overall growth and development as a scholar. In a standards-based report card, these habits are reported separate from academic standards. On our standards-based report card, we have a section called the Habits of Successful Learners. This slide highlights the types of things that are reported on in this section of the report card. It includes things such as homework, participation, follows classroom rules and routines, and respects others. Teachers will identify how students are doing with the habits of learning by rating each one as either on target, developing, or as an area of concern. As I already mentioned, these habits of successful learners are important to learning, but are graded separate from the academic standards. The reason this is done is because a student may master all of the math content at their grade, however, they inconsistently pass in homework. In a standards-based report card, parents get detailed information about how a student is doing with mastering content, in addition to receiving information about how their student is doing with being organized and prepared for class. The Salem Public Schools standards-based report card will be issued in all kindergarten through 8th grade schools in the district 3 times a year, once in December, once in March, and a third time in June. As we roll out the new standards-based report card, teachers, principals, and district leaders are committed to partnering with parents to ensure that the full benefit of the standards-based report card is accessed by all families. Here are 2 resources that parents may want to reference as they provide more information on standards. The first resource will also provide parents with ideas that they can use at home to support their student in school. In conclusion, the report card is a simple yet powerful tool for communicating student learning and growth throughout the year. We are very excited to be able to offer parents this detailed information about how their student is doing at 3 checkpoints during the year. We anticipate that the standards-based report card will deepen parent understanding of their child's progress while also strengthening homeschool communication. We hope this brief presentation helped to clarify the goals and format of the standards-based report card. If you have any remaining questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help. Feel free to reach out to either your classroom teacher or principal if you need or want more information about the Salem Public Schools K-8 standards-based report card. Thank you for listening and best wishes for a great year.